The blockchain era will usher in a period of unprecedented wealth. More wealth will be created from the blockchain era than any of us will see. It's the biggest wealth creation opportunity any of us will see in our lifetime. Full stop. Why? Decentralization of trust, replacing it with truth, and value flowing across the internet.
Hedge fund manager Mark Yusko believes one thing: having zero exposure to Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any other digital asset is a grave mistake. He has 3 main points for investing in cryptocurrency right now. Firstly, $37 trillion is about to flow from the baby boomers to the younger generations over the next 10 to 20 years. His argument: what are generations like millennials and Gen Z going to invest in? It definitely won't be bonds or gold, but rather a big chunk of that capital will find a new home in cryptocurrency. Secondly, every single fiat currency in the history of humans has eventually collapsed and gone to zero. Yusko argues that this time is no different, and just the devaluation of the dollar will drive Bitcoin and cryptocurrency higher over time. Finally, Yusko believes that crypto is currently still only at the early stages of the adoption cycle, with it at only 2% of its addressable market. He believes that over the next 10 years, it could easily do a 100x. So why would you not want exposure to this? Make sure to stick around to the end of the video where Yusko breaks down expertly why you need exposure to crypto right now. Also guys, if you want to stay most up to date on the crypto world, I send out a daily 5-minute crypto newsletter that covers expert predictions, on-chain data breakdowns, and breaking news, all for free. Click the first link in the description, enter your email, and join over 2,000 others to become a better crypto investor right now. Now here's Mark Yusko on the crypto opportunity.
Investing in crypto today is like investing in the internet in 1997. It was the Wild West, it was dangerous, and Paul Krugman said it'll never be more important than a fax machine. Maybe a little more important than a fax machine. So we're exactly on path with the internet. This is a Metcalfe's Law curve, and this was put together in 2014, and it said that Bitcoin would be worth $10,000 in 2017. Exactly what it was, and predicted $100,000 in 2022. Now, my friend Tim Peterson came out and said, well, your model's good, but you got your decay factor wrong because there's people that drop out of the network. So he revised it, and we're going to get to 100,000 sometime in 2024 because we're following this S curve. 10 years for the first 10%, 10 years for the next 80%, 10 years for the next. And just think about it. I stole this from actually Kelly's husband because he's amazing. And this thing on the right, this is $1 trillion asset with a T. From zero, 14 years ago. Trillion, okay? Gold, 10 trillion. And Bitcoin is digital gold. Gold is money that exists in the absence of liability. Bitcoin is digital version. It's more portable, more divisible. All the gold in the world fits in 2 rooms about this size. It's really heavy, hard to break in half and send it through your computer, okay? All the Bitcoin fits on my phone. I don't have any on my phone. Don't SIM swap me, okay? Don't do that. By the way, if you use 2-factor authentication and use a mobile number, change it to an email right now. Do not use your phone number. I'll explain later. So gold is probably only 5 trillion. Half of it is money. Half of it is jewelry and chalices. Money supply is 100 trillion. Could it get to 100 trillion? Maybe. If it does, that's 100x from here over, let's say, 8 to 10 years. Wouldn't you make that bet? Wouldn't you have some rather than zero? I would. So this is something called stock to flow. The more scarce an asset is, the more valuable it is. If you can print more money, it becomes less valuable. If I can't print more Bitcoin, I know exactly how many Bitcoin are going to be formed for the next 140 years. Every single day, I know exactly how many are going to be minted. There's a mining company out there that's helping do that. I know exactly how many. I have to worry about some old pale male stale white guys sitting in a room deciding what interest rate should be. We know the monetary policy of Bitcoin for the next 140 years. Why is that not superior? Well, it is superior in every way. This is all stores of value on log scale, okay? Real estate in red, gold and yellow, diamonds in white, and silver in silver. And Bitcoin has been moving up year by year, tick-tock, next block, approaching gold, probably reach gold equivalents sometime next year. So I love this. 1971, it's arrived. We have the money printer. By 2000, people can't save because their money keeps losing value. Then let them spend it, okay? 2020, we're in a crisis. Nobody has any savings. Then just print some more and send it to them. Stimmy checks. 2021, inflation's higher. Tell them it's transitory. Just lie, okay? 2030, room full of money. Where's everybody? Owning Bitcoin. So if you listen to the media, it's a sinking ship. If you actually watch what people are doing, it's the greatest migration of talent in the history of mankind. 30% of MIT grads, excluding, the bad ones, Sam and Caroline, but 30% of engineering graduates from MIT this year are going into crypto. The smartest people in the world, those are the smartest people in the world, right? They go anywhere they want. They're going into this space. It's the greatest migration of talent. I gave a talk in 2019, right before COVID lockdown, and this kid comes up to me afterwards. I say kid affectionately. I mean, he's like as old as my son. He says, will you call my mom? You just said there's all good people going. She thinks I'm an idiot. I left this big law firm. So he called his mom and said, no, your son is not an idiot. He's doing really well. So exponential age, 10 trillion. We didn't print 1 trillion. We printed $10 trillion in the last 24 months. 10 trillion. Your stuff's not getting more valuable, the money's getting worse, okay? And here's the truth. Everyone says, stocks, Mark, you're wrong. Stocks are at all-time highs. Well, they were before this year. No, they're not. They're only at all-time highs because of money illusion. You believe they're at all-time highs because you price them in toilet paper, the American dollar. If you price it in money, gold, they're the same price as 1997. There's been no increase in the value of corporate America since 1997. It's all an illusion. 100% of it is created by debt because it's inflation. They sold you that inflation is good for you. Inflation is theft. Inflation is unethical. On what planet is it good that after 30 years, half of your purchasing power is gone? Why would that be a good thing? From 1776 to 1913, a dollar was worth $1. From 1913 to today, as Jay Leno said, I heard they were going to create a dollar coin. They already have it. It's called a nickel. Now it's actually worth 3 cents because the Fed steals your money and gives it to the rich. The average person is more poor now. We have the greatest wealth and income inequality in the history of mankind because the Fed was created in 1913 to steal your money. Inflation is a myth. It is theft. Okay? So, in 1980, you could fill up a grocery cart for $20. I went to the store. I don't go to the store very often. My wife said, hey, stop at the store, get me a jar of tomato sauce. Now, I can't do anything with one thing. You got to walk through a bunch of, I like that, I like that. So I bought a couple plums and a couple nectarines, plopped them down. That'll be $17. For like 6 pieces of fruit, $17? Are you kidding me? I couldn't fill up even a portion of a cart. In 2011, 1 Bitcoin bought you a whole grocery cart. By 2018, it was a car. By 2030, a house. I love this. The Lambo guy on the left, millionaire, has a Lambo, a mansion. 2010, Bitcoiner's homeless. By 2020, million doesn't buy you very much in housing, okay? Bitcoiner's got a nice little house. By 2030, millionaire's got like Vancouver real estate, $1 million buys you nothing. And the Bitcoiner's got the house and the Lambo. By 2040, can you believe he has a whole Bitcoin? So zoom out. Mark, Bitcoin's down the last 3 years. The last year. 3 years, it's up 150%. Everything else is barely up. 5 years, 200%, barely up. 10 years, all those lines are still there. They just merged together and made black, okay? 200,000% better. So the world's changing. You got to change with it. Markowitz was my professor at University of Chicago, won the Nobel Prize. If you take an uncorrelated asset and you add it to a portfolio, risk goes down. So if I take bonds and I had stocks, risk goes down. If I had real estate, risk goes down. If I had hedge funds, risk goes down. If I had Bitcoin, risk goes down, not up. Risk goes down. Now why? Bitcoin is the most uncorrelated asset in the history of assets. 0.0 correlated to bonds, 0.15 correlated to stock. If you add it to a portfolio, your returns go up and your risk goes down. Not every day, every week, every month, but over long periods of time. And it's because stocks and bonds are correlated because they rely on the same things: corporate profits, economic growth, and interest rates. Crypto has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with the fact that millennials are going to own it. It has to do with the technology is coming. It has to do with regulatory development and adoption rates and network growth. So again, slide from off the chain. Here it is. If you did nothing, just did 60-40, made 11%. But 2%, not even a lot, 2% over the last 5 years, you made 13.5. Anyone think 13.5 is superior to 11? I do. And you had no increase in risk. Have you put 10%, not even a crazy amount, you made 24. 24 is way better than 11. Just is. Now here's why we don't. Volatility. We're all afraid of volatility. Purple dot, Amazon. You all know Amazon's been a public company for 26 years. Every single year, including this year, every single year. So Amazon's had a double-digit drawdown every single year, including this year. The average is 31%. Think about that. Every year for 26 years, on average, if you held Amazon, you lost a third of your money. This year it's 49%. When was the right time to sell Amazon? That would be never. How many people bought it 26 years ago and hold it today? There's only 5 people in the whole world. Jeff, mom, dad, ex-wife, and Bill Miller. That's it. Everybody else couldn't handle the volatility. Bitcoin has the same volatility. For 14 years, it's compounded over 100% with 80 vol, but people can't handle the vol. You don't have to. You can do other things. So there have been these big parabolic moves. That move on the far left, that little blip, that's a 20-fold increase and an 84% crash. The next one, 20-fold increase, 80% crash. But what happens is we flatten the curve, like real flatten the curve, not the nonsense we heard about COVID. This is real flattening the curve because the increase in the network value is growing exponentially and all the past volatility fades away. So yes, this year, price has gone down. But here's the interesting thing. From 3 years ago, when we printed 100% of the money supply, the price, money went down by half. The price of Bitcoin should have gone up 100%. Exactly what it did. Funny how that works. It's just math. So crypto winter came. Someone said earlier, I wasn't expecting the ice age, which is kind of what we're in because of FTX and all that stuff. But I actually think we're in spring. This is just a nor'easter. Hurricane Sam. I live in North Carolina. About once every 10 years, we get a nor'easter in March and dumps about 10 inches of snow. And we don't know what to do in North Carolina, so we're locked in our house for a few days. That's what happened. We're in a storm. That storm will go away. Spring will come. It will thaw. Summer will be here next year. And we'll be back to positivity.
So there's Mark Yusko explaining why zero exposure to digital assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum is a big mistake, especially considering the anticipated $37 trillion transferred from boomers to younger generations, the historical trend of fiat currencies collapsing, and the early stage opportunities in the crypto adoption cycle. These powerful insights could give you an edge in investing. As Yusko has expertly laid out, there is no better time than now to gain exposure to the world of cryptocurrency. It's an investment opportunity of a lifetime that is poised to out-return every other asset class in the world. Remember, if you want to stay updated on the latest trends and news in the crypto world, don't forget to sign up to our free 5-minute daily crypto newsletter. Just click the first link in the description, enter your email, and you'll join the ranks of over 2,000 informed crypto investors. Anyway guys, hope you all enjoyed today's video and that provided you with some value. I'll see you all in the next one, and as always, all the best.